Welcome to the Filmistines, the podcast where we discuss all things movies. Join us as we dive deep into the latest releases, revisit classic films, and explore the art of cinema. Whether you're a film fanatic or just love a good flick, we've got you covered. From Hollywood blockbusters to indie gems, we'll be breaking down the storytelling, cinematography, and everything in between. So grab some popcorn, sit back, and get ready for some cinematic magic. If you like what you hear, please consider subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/filmistines. We offer tiers at the $1, $5, and $20 level, where the $20 tier grants the ability to request films for future episodes. How cool is that? This is the Filmistines, where movies are more than just entertainment, they're an experience. All around you. Welcome back to the newest, greatest movie podcast in the world, the Filmistines. Thanks for tuning in to this glorious show. And thank you for joining me today. We all know now, I should say our shark movie expert, Lucy.
Hello, everyone.
We're talking about another shark movie today, The Meg. Are you familiar with it?
Yes.
What kind of experience do you have with this 2018 film?
I actually saw it in the movie theaters when it came out. I don't think it was, opening weekend kind of thing, but I did go see it at the movie theater, and that's about it.
Did you like it back then?
I loved it back then.
Like I said, it's a 2018 film surrounding a megalodon, directed by John, Turtletub. Screenplay written by Dean Jorgaris or Horgius, not sure. It's got our boy, not really our boy, but our boy Jason Statham. He was kind of a surprise lead in this movie. I didn't know anything about this film going into it, other than the megalodon, of course. I didn't know how big he was gonna be. I didn't know who was in it. I didn't know this was a Warner Brothers film. I didn't know anything about this.
Oh,
Didn't know Jason Statham was in it. Not that he's a A-list actor by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe he is on some radars, but he's an interesting face to see, because I associate him with Crank and Crank 2, I guess. But I remember this being a little bit of a phenomenon when it released. I know it made quite a bit of money for its budget and for the premise of a shark. We don't have a lot of animals gone wild movies being blockbusters, being actual blockbusters. They're all in a way chasing that Jaws energy from way back when. And The Meg did amazing on its $130 million budget. This film went on to make about $530 million. That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, we're getting close to 4 times the money. That's impressive stuff, especially coming from a shark movie, of course, in 2018. What I wanted to say off the top was I'm really surprised how expensive this movie does look, just because it's very, kind of B-tier premise and everything. It feels like it could have been a sci-fi channel movie like Sharknado or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I expected, something in that realm. But it did go to theaters. I don't know if Sharknado went to theaters, but not that is a mark of quality, but it is kind of a mark of how much money went into the movie on some level. It is and it isn't, I guess. But this is probably the most overly produced movie I've ever seen. In that everything's very shiny, everything's lit like, I don't even know what it's lit like. It's like, I guess it's lit like a commercial or something, like a cologne commercial or a car commercial or something. Like there's something very, very corporate about it. There's something very just weird, and I want to say uncanny, but that's not quite right. But just something very off about this movie in the production of it. I also wanted to say that the effects are pretty good. I'm actually really surprised. I'm actually really impressed by how good they are. Why is a random ass shark movie making better CG underworld life than fucking Marvel. I just, give me some high level thoughts, man.
You found a way to bring Marvel back in.
I'm bringing Marvel.
Didn't you?
It's either Marvel or Harry Potter. It's getting brought in every episode.
No, so the first time watching this at the movie theater, I thought it was phenomenal. I mean, you can imagine watching this at the movies. I think the movies are, meant for some of these very highly produced movies. It just gives it the, I don't know how to say it, the overdone quality of it. Putting it on a big screen makes it even more over the top. So, that was fun to see. My second time around, and I kind of hate you a little bit for this, I noticed things that I have problems with that I didn't notice the first time around. First time around, just a huge fucking awesome shark.
Which is still cool, right?
Oh yeah, no. Which is still cool. Second time around, it's still fucking awesome shark. But now I notice the, human plots.
A little too much.
Who
was the biggest offender? I know who the biggest offender was.
The girl, Suyin. I think she was the biggest offender.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, they really forced her onto us.
Yes.
Didn't they? I was gonna say the biggest offender was the black guy.
DJ, I think that was his name.
I know this is maybe gonna drive people crazy and me just saying this, but he's just the funny black guy. I think almost everything he said was supposed to be a joke, and I get this is not, a character-driven movie by any stretch of the imagination. So we have these mega archetypes. What were you gonna say?
Which I think that's my issue now, that the characters weren't developed, and I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
Which before it was just, I don't care about the characters.
Yeah. No, and
okay.
I get that.
It's okay.
I get that.
But finish what you were saying about DJ.
That's basically it. I liked his energy and his playfulness, but they just didn't give him anything, which it's hard to do in a movie like this. I get it. It's hard to do in any movie. We're learning, I think. You need smart people behind the camera and on the camera. And in front of the camera, everywhere you need smart people to make a really nice movie happen, a really awesome, like a John Wick type movie.
They almost did him dirty in putting him here in this room full of scientists. He's supposed to be a scientist too. He's part of this research.
Good point.
Group of people that are researching the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
And then we give him nothing.
Yeah, and especially because his counterpart was kind of what's her name?
Lax, I think that was her name. Jax. Yeah.
Ruby Rose's stupid ass. And she was like, they forced it down her throat, or our throat, that Jax down our throat, that she was this brilliant fucking tech whiz. I can hack. You need this kind of hacking. You have this kind of hacking problem. Don't look any further. I got your back. She was so fucking annoying. She was, I guess I don't want to say she was the biggest offender of just stupidness in the movie, because she's, I just have a personal thing against Ruby Rose.
Yeah.
But she's also had a little bit more going for her as a character than my boy DJ. Is that his name?
DJ, yeah.
Because he was they just made him, exactly like you were saying. They made him silly, and these are his peers, especially Jax. They seem to be each other's counterpart in some way, especially sitting literally across from each other where they were working.
And this is funny. All the cast members on the Wikipedia page have something, kind of mildly interesting next to their name. But DJ has another engineer, and that's it. That's all they say about him. Like, some of these other engineers at least get the satisfaction of being, aboard the Mano, or this guy's a millionaire, or, part of this other crew. But he's just another engineer. That's kind of funny.
That is funny. He didn't even get an engineer aboard the Mariner, like the exact same thing Jax got.
Yeah.
That's funny. And I know that must have something to do with the Chinese kind of tendrils all over this, because they are not big appreciators of black folks. They don't want them being the main characters and whatnot. They don't want them being on the poster and stuff, a la every fucking thing from Star Wars over the last 10 years. But it does hurt this film, because it's just he is just the comic relief. Like, it's so, I don't know, it's kind of jarring.
Yeah, you can't make him the comic relief and a scientist.
Yeah, but he wasn't even a scientist. Like, he was by listing on the Wikipedia page, but as far as we know, there was nothing.
That's true. What was his role? Maybe he was the custodian and no one knows.
Yeah, because, from scene to scene, he's fine making the jokes, but he didn't have his moment, Everyone kind of has their moment in a movie, right? Especially a stupid movie like this. He didn't really have his moment. His big ha-ha was probably, he didn't have a big ha-ha. I don't even know if he had a big joke. Like, there was no setup for this character at all. And I don't know. I feel for DJ.
Yeah.
I'm not offended. I don't give a fuck. But he deserved better, especially being Jax's counterpart. Because fuck Jax.
Yeah.
Because Ruby Rose aside, Jax was probably the worst performance and the most annoying character.
Yeah, and there's even a scene where Jonas, our main dude, they're in the elevator and he's, I don't know what Jax says or something, and he's like, "Oh, I think you're the smartest one here," or something along those lines, like giving her credit. And I was just thinking, what gave you that idea? What gave you that impression here? That she was the one that knew what she was talking about. I didn't get that.
Yeah, and it's hard to say if he was being ironic, because there wasn't enough character in any of these characters. Yeah, they forced her down her throat. I don't know what that's about.
I think they forced a lot of...
They forced everything except Jason Statham, probably. Jason Statham is obviously the star.
Which, I didn't know he had a diving mini career when he was younger.
That's cool.
Yeah, he won awards for dives. I don't know, competitions and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That must be why he's bald.
I think he was the only one out of everybody that did pretty much his own diving stunts and water stunts.
Oh, that's cool.
Film. So
that makes sense. He seems like the kind of character who would do his own stunts.
Yeah.
He's like the British Tom Cruise.
British Tom Cruise.
The hairless Tom Cruise.
The hairless Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I know him probably, apart from Crank, I probably know him most from Fast and Furious, I would say. I think that's where you saw him from too, right?
Yeah, that's where I remember him from.
Is that the only movie you think you've seen him with?
Yes.
He's in quite a few things. He's in a lot of B movies like this. He doesn't get the love like Tom Cruise does.
Yeah.
He's in The Expandables.
Oh. Cool.
I know you love The Expandables.
I love that film.
So, you had, I guess, a major issue with this girl. What's her name? The main girl?
I think her name is Suyin.
Okay, I see it. She was the star of the cologne commercial, They made her look as good as possible all the time.
Yeah.
There was one edit that I noticed that was really, really bad when Jason Statham's character, Jonas, had, just got out of the water when they were all on the boat, and he had just... Is that when he stabbed the shark in the mouth with the spear thing to inject the poison or whatever, the morphine? I think he got out of the water, he was laying down, and then he was talking to everyone. Basically, it was like it would be on his face, and it'd be on DJ's face, it'd be on Jason Statham's face, it'd be on the manager's face, the Suin's granddad or whatever. And so when that happens, they need, when his eyes need to be like where they're at. Like, so if the
Okay.
granddad is to Jason's left, his eyes need to be to our right. They need to be facing that way. And so when the camera moves in such a way, it all lines up, because then it confuses. It can confuse, if you're paying attention, it will confuse you where everyone's oriented. And so I'm pretty sure he looked to our left, his right, because he was facing the camera, right?
Yeah.
And when he talked to Suyin, and then she was all the way on our right, but he looked to our left, and I thought that was like, oh shit. I was like, the next, it was a kind of a far away shot, so I was just like, it's pretty easy to miss, but I was like, that's funny that I saw that.
There were a few edits that, and I'm nowhere near noticing that kind of stuff, I think. But I noticed the weirdness, at least. Now I do.
Yeah, this movie's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's made, the production of it is just a little bizarre. It doesn't feel quite right? You can agree to that?
I can agree to that.
Okay.
I can agree to that. But I can't put my finger on, especially the editing. There were some parts where I don't know whose point of view we were supposed to be seeing some of these things from. So it was odd. It was odd.
Yeah.
I know in previous episodes we have brought up, kind of awkward scenes, whether they're just awkward cringe or awkward placement or awkward to the storyline. This one was filled with awkward, weird ass moments that didn't flow, and it left me kind of surprised that I didn't notice. I didn't notice those.
Yeah, you just didn't care about him because the shark,
Yeah, I'm there for the shark, really.
Yeah,
I
can't blame you. That's part of my problem with the Godzilla, King Kong movies, specifically the Godzilla films. The King Kong Skull Island one is pretty decent. It's a little spectacle-y, and it fucking shoves Loki's, what's his name, Tom Hiddleston or something like that, and Brie Larson. It paints them in such a way that they are just like weirdly, I don't know, like it's like I don't want to, like it's like I can't. It's the same things happening in this movie with especially Suyin. I cannot fucking put my finger on the feeling it gives when how it, like, the camera pictures these guys, especially Suyin, Jax, the little girl, and maybe the ex-wife, because all these other characters I feel like I've seen in other movies. Basically, they are just archetype characters, nothing interesting about them. They're just, generic nonsense, or generic, catalysts to get the movie moving along. But these other characters just feel there's something so fucking weird about them that just is. It's not necessarily the bad writing either. Like we just covered the Black Demon, and that movie's just, you can identify in every single fucking scene what's terrible about that movie. But this movie's got such a glossy sheen on it that it's kind of really hard to say exactly what it was, but it makes me feel fucking weird.
Yeah, it's almost like these characters you just named. It's almost like they are sort of missing some expressions in a way. Maybe a little bit of the drama in those situations that you're in. Like, okay, Lori, the ex-wife. You just got stabbed and you're in the bottom of the ocean. You're facing this megalodon. You're trapped. No one's talking about rescuing you anytime soon because they got to go get somebody from Thailand apparently to come rescue you now, which that's weird. But where's the fear? Where's the freak out, the panic, the anxiety?
Yeah, the urgency. It just reminded me, the most interesting character in the whole movie is, can you guess?
Interesting character. Are you gonna say Toshi?
Toshi.
Yeah.
Toshi was very easily the most interesting character. He wrote a letter. We saw that letter pop up like 3 times. There's something building there. 4 times, I think, because I think he hands it off to.
Yeah, we see him writing it.
Slips into the pocket.
We see him writing it. We see him when, the other 2 are escaping. We see him tear it and fold it. And then slips into the pocket. And then when, I think his name is The Wall, the other third dude, he gives it to the
His name's The Wall.
yeah.
What? What? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
You know, he the Wall gives it to the granddad.
Sunin's granddad, yeah.
Yeah. And says, here, you know, your problem now.
See, that's building something. That's interesting. That's building something without Toshi even there. That's storytelling. You know, that's some good stuff happening right there, but it never materializes, obviously.
Which, yeah, it doesn't materialize. And I thought after the grandpa died, you know, did somebody give Toshi's note to his wife? Did that get taken care of? I hope so.
Well, we might find out in Meg 2.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there were a few things that just weren't making sense to me. But I guess one of the smaller ones was in the introduction, where Jonas is rescuing everybody and he basically leaves his two friends behind and saves everybody. And that Heller dude, that doctor dude, and he's like, you know, what have you done? And then there's an explosion, or vice versa, whichever happens first. And that's just no one heard the explosion.
Yeah, no one knew about it a couple days later after the reports happened and stuff. And
yeah, how are you questioning that this dude just saved your life?
Yeah.
And then he gives Jonas a diagnosis of pressure-induced psychosis. And you brought up a great point while we were watching this. How does he get to diagnose this dude if he shared the same trauma?
Yeah, it seems ethically kind of fucked up.
That was hilarious. I didn't even think about that, but that's so funny. And they run with that. They hate each other because
they do run with that. That becomes a major pillar of our main character.
Yeah. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that was bizarre. That was a bizarre way to start off this movie. We could have, I guess they wanted some of that drama on, you know, in the main part of the movie, not just the intro. We established that drama in the intro. They refined Jason Statham, Jonas, and then all, you know, surprise, Keller is his name?
Heller?
Heller.
With H?
Yeah. Okay. Heller is working for the Mono, working for Dwight, and you know they're trying to like pretend this drama has real texture, and then how does he learn his lesson? How does Heller learn, like, kind of back up on that after he basically does the same thing?
Was it when they see the Meg? And then he gives him a look like a "I told you so"?
It's when he saves Suine, isn't it?
Yes.
When she's trapped in that cool cage. That cage is cool, isn't it? Big glass.
Oh,
plastic walls.
Yes, that was a cool cage.
That was a cool cage.
That was a cool cage.
Yeah, and like that is what it takes to change your mind, and not like just simple reflection. I don't know. It's just a little.
It's weird.
It doesn't. It's just not making any sense. It's just like the logical, probably of some kind of logical fallacy is happening here, because you know you would from the beginning you want kind of an unbiased point of view diagnosing them equally, you know, or not diagnosing them equally, but evaluating them equally and seeing, you know, because they have this shared trauma that's fucking insane. They just escaped a shark attack, a Meg, presumably, right? And also a fucking submarine that exploded. So,
with
like,
their friends.
With their friends, and they lost those friends. Yeah, and it's just like I don't know. That's not the basis of. That's just not a basis of character.
Yeah, and if
we base two characters off of that, not just one, you know, because we keep both of them. So I don't know. It's fucking weird.
And if you're trying to show us that Heller is maybe hard-headed or stubborn or likes to hold grudges, then okay, I could possibly get that on, you know, why he's acting this way. But no, we don't get anything. So yeah.
Yeah, he hurts the film. We're just naming things that hurt the film.
Okay, well, let's name some things that don't hurt the film. Like the fucking giant squid. That was awesome.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
I like that.
I liked that.
I don't know if there's any films that have a giant squid like this.
Yeah, none. Just Pirates of the Caribbean, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. They have a giant squid, but
this squid gets eaten by a megalodon, which is awesome. The megalodon doing its thing is awesome.
yeah, the megalodon, without a shadow of a doubt, is the star of this movie.
Yeah, I wish they would either just make it almost fucking a silent film. Such human dialogue, such little human dialogue as as possible, or approaching it from like the Shin Godzilla perspective. Remember Shin Godzilla? And it approached it from like this almost hyper realistic, super urgent political point of view of how do we deal with this fucking problem. And instead they make it a Mission Impossible kind of mission, and they're just too, I don't know, capable. They're just way too capable.
Yeah, or
even when their ship's fucking destroyed, they're too capable. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, or even make it just really gory.
Yeah.
Make it super scary and gory. Maybe that could work.
Or back up on some of the drama. Back up on the dialogue. I can't even call it drama, and just make it a little bit more silly. Lean into what most shark movies are, because you've got a great looking Meg. You've got some good underwater effects. You've got cool ships that they're getting in. To be honest, those ships look real. The yellow and orange ones they get in with the glass.
Yeah, like submarine looking ships.
Yeah, I don't even know if those are fake. To be honest, I can't tell. They look great. It's almost like they look too good, though, because the lighting in this movie is fucking just... It's too commercial, I guess, is the best way to put it. It feels like a brighter cologne commercial. That's the best way I can put it. I know you're not familiar with commercials. Not too familiar with commercials. You don't see them a lot like I do.
I mean, I see ads.
Yeah, so you get some taste of that. But I know a lot of YouTube ads today are just much funner and much just more interesting and funny. But I don't know, cologne commercial just pops out of my head. That it's just almost like things are happening, especially in cologne commercials. Things are happening in the commercial, and you're like, "What is this commercial for?" And then it's like Gucci, and you're just like, "I don't know how we got from point A to B to C to Gucci," but that's kind of the feeling I get here when the characters are talking.
That's so funny. It's pretty much that, what's the point here? The Meg. What looks like a fucking badass? The Meg. My favorite scenes are definitely with...
What's your favorite scene? I have a favorite scene. I have a favorite little bit.
Yeah, I guess it's a favorite.
It's hardly a scene.
I have two.
Okay, what are they?
That I couldn't pick between.
The squid was cool.
The first one is where we have the little girl.
Yep, that's my favorite scene too.
Yeah, in the tunnel with her little magic ball, magic techno ball.
It's the best part of the movie, without a shadow of a doubt.
Fucking awesome! Oh my god, seeing that at the movie theater, was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh god, it's.
There's a little bit of magic there. There really is.
And it's the Meg is staring at you, and you're frightened for this little girl, but she's okay because she's not in the water, so you can't be that frightened. And then it fucking bites into it, and you're like, "Oh shit, what is about to happen?" Yeah,
it almost implied a sentience. It almost implied a certain intelligence in this guy, and this is a shark, and they never deliver on that either. Not that. We could be reading into it a little bit too much, because I don't think there are probably any other instances of that level of intellect, but it did kind of tap into that when he was kind of slowly moving up to the glass to see her. And it was just like, this isn't your everyday megalodon,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
thing. And that was cool. That was very cool.
That was good.
I mean, that's great filmmaking right there.
Good job. I mean, this whole movie, whatever it was, this scene
Makes
gave
it
it. Yeah, it makes it worth it. It was good.
Yeah.
I almost imagine like Bruce from Finding Nemo
Mm-hmm.
just smiling there because the Meg looked like it was smiling. Creepy. It was good.
Yeah.
Good job. My other favorite scene, which we'll bring into this next also topic that's kind of awkward, it's when the giant Meg eats the little Meg,
Mm-hmm.
whatever that's supposed to be. That was cool. I love that it jumped out of the water. You're not expecting it. You're not expecting a bigger fucking shark to grab this already huge shark. So that was cool. It just tore it right out. Made everyone fall out. Killed some people. It was
awesome.
great.
It was awesome. Absolutely. Yeah, I guess they, you know what they say, a broken clock is right twice a day. So there's two for you.
I
hate that my influence / kind of pushing you into new films, old films, all films has kind of ruined some of this old love.
Yeah, you ruined my magic. That's for sure.
Yeah, I hate to hear that because it just sucks. I want if you can enjoy it, whatever it is, as long as it's not hurting anyone, preferably not yourself either. Go for it, enjoy it, please, love it. But I don't want to. I hate that I'm kind of taking part in killing that for you in some way. But I hope at the same time it allows you to appreciate the really, really good stuff even further than you possibly thought you could appreciate it, like The Whale.
Yeah, I mean, there's some...
The Whale movie, not the... That's funny.
There's definitely, I guess, a little bit of a sacrifice. But, yes, it killed a little bit of the magic, but it killed the magic the second time around.
Sure.
I think the first times I watch movies, I still get that.
That's good. That's good. If you can balance that act forever, that'd be awesome. That's a good place to be.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where this goes.
It just still kind of suck for you because you tend to like to rewatch films, and so then you have diminishing returns after that. But that's okay. That's okay. As long as you're still having fun, and change of opinion it's fun. It's a fun experience. It's a fun sensation to be like, huh, I'm a fucking idiot. Why did I like this? Or like, you know what? I'm a fucking idiot because this is awesome. How did I not see this before?
And that also happened with The Whale. The first time.
You didn't love it?
I didn't love it.
And the second time?
The second time, oh my God. I was bawling.
That's funny. Yeah.
The first time I didn't even cry. I was just, okay, just enjoying it, I guess.
Yeah.
Then the second time I paid attention to everything.
Maybe.
Oh, it got me.
Maybe some films we should just watch twice.
I don't think it'll hurt.
Yeah. No, it definitely won't hurt. I think it will only help, especially analytically, or I should say critically. But, I mean, some directors, lots of directors want you to watch their films many, many times to kind of process everything. And Christopher Nolan's real big into that. He wants to push that philosophy of filmmaking more, and that, the first time you view a film is kind of a draft opinion of it. And then you watch it over and over again, and you kind of you will literally figure out kind of what's happening, especially in a Christopher Nolan film, because, they're confusing. But they always tend to have characters because of the producers. It's kind of a funny negotiation that happens with Christopher Nolan films, is he makes weird films, story-wise, and his producers basically force him to have a character that just tells you everything. And so it's kind of one of these things that we've talked about before, about how some directors and writers and stuff and producers spelling things out and making it look like it makes the movie kind of look down on you. Like, you don't understand what's happening, so we have to tell you what's happening.
Yeah.
So that it's kind of a funny thing that happens in movies sometimes. It's not the visionaries' objective to include that kind of thing, but sometimes the bankrollers are, they're gonna require that on some level because they want to talk to the lowest common denominator. And so there's a kind of, it's one of these things we'll just never really, it's one of these mysterious things that we'll never really get to the nut of, because it's different for every film,
Right.
So
yeah, I did appreciate the cute little things in this movie, like them putting a fin on top of the Roomba.
Mm-hmm.
That was cute.
That was cute.
When Jonas was swimming in the water and he was singing the Just Keep Swimming song from
that was funny.
Finding Nemo. That was cute. A lot of cute moments like that I really appreciated. And Pippin.
Pippin was cute.
Pippin was cute.
I also liked the shot, like the aerial shots of all the people in the water.
Oh, yeah.
That was pretty cool.
That was awesome.
And apparently they shot there. They were actually in Sunya, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
China. Is that China?
Yeah, that's China. Sanya City.
Sanya Bay. That was sick.
Yeah.
Lots of color, lots of people. Very cool. I don't know how much of that was CG. I don't have no idea, but it looked great. That's probably when the color really helped this movie. The lighting and stuff, and a lot of that was probably, everything was probably natural, and then any additional light was all in post. That was just too big of a shot to have any kind of influence over that, probably. But that was probably the coolest shot, other than, of course, when the girls in the tunnels.
Yeah. No, I loved every bit of that that bit right there. It was just funny to see everybody on a floaty, and
so many floaties.
Yeah.
And they were all basically the same.
Yeah.
It's weird. The funniest part in the movie probably happened there too, because when those guys were on that anchored little square dock type thing, and then the girls were like 30 feet in another direction. They were like, "Hey, come over here." And then when the megalodon was swimming under him, he indirectly grabbed like the anchor, and he brought the girls over.
Here you go.
That was good. That was funny. That was good stuff. Not good storytelling, but it's a little good ha-ha.
Yeah, another cute moment. Yeah.
Yeah. At least there were some decent things happening here, unlike the Black Demon.
Oh, for sure. I mean, first of all, we got to see the Meg.
That's true. And I didn't get the feeling that no one wanted to be here. That someone didn't want to be here. You know what I mean? I got that feeling in the Black Demon, that people didn't even want to fucking come to work that day.
Yep.
Jason Statham had a blast, I think.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Especially swimming around.
In some of the reviews I was reading, a lot of people like to bring up that this was a Jaws ripoff.
Stupid people.
What are you talking about? Is it that there's a shark involved and that automatically makes it a Jaws ripoff?
Yeah, I saw kind of stuff like that. It seemed to be kind of trendy to bring that point up. We pretend like first of all, we pretend there aren't, I don't know, 100 different Jaws-esque movies, or shark movies just in general, if you want to just call that what a Jaws movie is. Because Jaws is not just a shark movie. It may have inspired the shark genre in its fullest, but Jaws is, I don't even know how to sum up Jaws in like 2 fucking words. Jaws is a revolutionary storyteller and showed the possibility of what story can look like in a blockbuster movie. What character can look like in a blockbuster movie, They showed that it's one of these movies that shows that there aren't boundaries for what a great film can look like, No other Jaws, no other water monster-esque Jaws shark movie can even hope to show. Not even, Jaws 2, Revenge, 3D, whatever. Of course, not the fucking sequels, but I don't know. It's comparing any movie to Jaws. And I don't want to just sum up saying Jaws is a masterpiece, but it is. But it also just
It just does. It does the characters justice. You know, you can't forget Quinn. He's unforgettable.
you can't forget the dialogue. You can't forget the relationships. You can't forget the setting. You can't forget the fucking shark. You can't forget the attacks. You can't forget the shots. You can't forget
scare.
You can't forget the fucking just perfectly weird jump scare, man. Like it's so and it's so beautifully done because there's not a jump scare in the rest of the movie like it, but it sets you up in such a way that if you were a thoughtful movie watcher, you're definitely going to think there's more to come in that way, you know?
Yeah.
So it puts you that, and it happens early enough. It doesn't happen in the first 15 minutes. It maybe happens around the 30-minute mark, but it may have happened around the 30-minute mark with Hooper, I think his name was, you know, diving in the water, and he just sees the fucking skeleton turn around and stuff. And we are, you know, we're 30 minutes in a movie that maybe at the time I don't think has even shown the shark, but we know it's, you know, we know it's there. We're in a fucking resort, an island resort, you know, community that relies on tourists to go swimming at the beach and shit. And so we have this perfect setting for, you know, everything to come. And then, you know, we were hit with the jump scare. And then for the next, I don't know, maybe hour and a half or so, we're on the edge of our seats for something like that. Something else that's kind of a jump scare, and we don't quite get it. The closest thing we get is probably when Brody is throwing Chum in the water and he's not looking, and we see see Bruce pop out of the water there. You know, there's a little bit of a jump scare happening there on some level, but not quite on the jump scare, you know, nature. But it's just a master of storytelling. I don't know. You can't say, it's like fucking saying, I don't know. It's like saying any fucking gangster movie is like, you know, it's just a rip on The Godfather. It's like, no.
That's a Godfather ripoff.
Like, I don't know. I can't think of any examples of that shit, but that's so, and I saw that. That was kind of trendy to like bring that up.
Yes. Very trendy. It's like every other review was, Jaws did it better. Jaws ripoff.
This
isn't a comparison to Jaws situation. Nobody was trying to do that. I don't know. It was just very silly for everybody to.
That's bizarre.
It's super trite. I mean,
it screams almost this. I don't love it. Like obviously some people do, and so I need to knock it down a peg. And how am I going to do that? By comparing it to a great, I guess, you know? Because, I mean, this is probably the second biggest, aka, you know, shark movie to ever hit the big screen, money-wise. And probably phenomenon-wise, next to maybe Sharknado. I mean, I imagine those are the three big ones. Jaws, Sharknado, and Meg. As far as, like, just reach and, you know, the zeitgeist and everything.
Yeah, I mean, there were a few shark movies that came out to theaters, but nowhere near this much anticipation and advertising. Yeah,
the next one would probably be that Jessica Biel one from the early 2000s. I think it's called like The Deep Blue Sea or something like that. That's probably the next biggest one, and that's not, I mean, that's an iconic shark movie, but has nothing on even the Meg. Of course, not Jaws, but yeah, that's, I don't know, that's like comparing, I don't know, my touchstone's gonna be in video games right now, but it's like comparing Skyrim and like, I don't know, The Witcher, and like, because they share kind of a D&D-esque thing where you have these fantastical elements and you have all these RPG mechanics, and you're in this big world, and you know, it's just kind of, and they're just, I don't know, no one does that though. No one compares The Witcher and Skyrim.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, it's
they're
just
each their own thing.
Like, I can't think of a movie like that that's kind of on that level. Because like a place where you say that is like when Fantastic Beasts, because it's part of the same universe as Harry Potter. You know, Harry Potter is not the greatest thing to ever hit the big screen, but Fantastic Beasts is some of the shittiest stuff to ever hit the big screen, right?
Yeah.
And so
agreed.
there's a legacy there that they kind of need to live up to on some level, and they are failing miserably with every new Fantastic Beasts movie. And you see that with series all the time, shows and movies, where they progressively get worse. But I don't know, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that's...
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I've never been one either to compare something like that in that from that angle, like, oh, this did it better. That's never really pops up in my mind, so I'm having a hard time orient myself on that plane of what that can look like. So not to sound fucking above that, but I have a hard time thinking about that. I just don't. You got anything? It's like, I don't know, maybe it's like comparing ants to A Bug's Life. Does that sound right?
Yeah. Okay. I can see that.
There's also something to say about, like, shark movies are kind of a unique thing where there's just a fuck ton of them, and they share a lot of, like, generic shark movies share a lot in common because they're cheap and just fucking crack for some people, right? But is Ants and Bugs Life?
They have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah, and they stand on their own. Like, I don't know. Maybe the horror world would be a better route to look in. But then again, people are going to be like, well, the original Rob Zombie's Halloween is not as good as the original. They're going to say shit like that. No one's going to say Halloween does it better than Friday the 13th. I don't think, right? I don't know. That's a weird ass thing to say. I'm hung up on that.
It's even weirder because it was the Meg was nominated for a Golden Raspberry Award in the worst prequel remake ripoff as a ripoff of Jaws. It won an award for that, which is
it's weird.
Even sillier.
It's weird. That's weird. I don't know what else to say about it. That is.
I know.
Bothers me.
I'm glad that you said what you said, because I couldn't have phrased it.
No, thank you.
Better, because I also thought, no, why would you think this? But I don't know if I could have put it to words quite like you did. So,
Jaws is an important fucking film. Not in just its pioneering nature, but in its storytelling and its cinematic nature. It's not a film you can compare to things lightly.
Yeah.
It's really not. And Jaws is not one of my favorite movies, by the way. But it's up there. It's probably my top 100 or whatever, top 50 maybe, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, top 50 makes it sound like one of my favorites, but I haven't seen that many films,
I beg to differ. Have you seen this? No? Oh, I have. Have you seen this? Oh, no, I have.
I've done that?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes when I say that...
I haven't seen many movies.
Yeah, it's kind of relative, isn't it? It's kind of relative.
And not even to mention Jaws, the score.
Yeah, you don't even...
Magnificent.
Most people... It's probably one of those things, but I bet you the Jaws theme, at least, transcends the movie. I think that's obvious.
Yes.
Kind of like the Darth Vader being Luke's dad or whatever. Luke, I'm your father, or whatever he says.
Yeah. I'm your father.
Something,
what?
Something like that. Which is, crazy. One of the crazy things in movies I know. But everybody knows it without even seeing the movies. Most people in the world have not seen Star Wars or Jaws. But I bet you, like the Golden Arches, they fucking recognize those quotes and that sound.
Yes.
Bet you. I once heard that the Golden Arches were more recognizable than than Jesus on the cross.
Holy crap.
That's what I heard once. I don't know if it's true, but that sounds true to me. So on Letterboxd, it has a 2.4 overall, which is pretty low. It's a little lower than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be in the high 2s. I thought like 2.7, 2.8. Because I thought, even after the movie, I thought that. Because I thought people were a little higher on this movie. I thought it became kind of a classic shark movie. But apparently everyone's like, well, it's got nothing on Jaws. I don't know if anyone was saying that it did. Maybe someone somewhere on YouTube was like, better than Jaws. And it just triggered everybody.
Ran with it.
Triggered everybody.
And they even, went out and made a special award just for that.
Yeah. Are you excited for the Meg 2?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good.
Hopefully there's more Meg, less forced love interests, less weird dynamics. Hopefully there's like 5 Megs, a Meg family,
I got the impression
Papa Meg.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I got the impression that it's gonna take like a kaiju route, and the Meg's gonna fight a big animal, another big animal.
I haven't seen anything.
I haven't either. I haven't seen a
About
trailer. I just saw a screenshot.
I haven't seen anything.
Yeah. I don't know anything about it. I just know Jason Statham is in it.
Okay,
That's
so he's
basically
back
it.
in it. Okay.
And I assume wait, did the Meg die? I can't even remember.
Yes. All the sharks came in and
Oh yeah, that's
started
right. He ripped his
devouring
guts
it.
out, which was
Yeah.
pretty cool. That ending was pretty cool. And he stabbed him in the eyeball, and that was dope.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they bring this Meg back. Or this new Meg.
Yeah, it's gonna be a new Meg. Unless
Yeah.
it's gonna be a mechanical Meg.
What? Because this Meg supposedly escaped through the
Yeah.
pocket there. Which, that whole plot is it's just weird to me. How are you going to have 2 Megs, but one escaped? Did one swim up there real quickly after the other Meg? Did one wasn't in the pocket and was somewhere else?
Yeah, they did
What
it.
about that first explosion from the beginning? Who was that? The other Meg?
Yeah, they have some answers. They have some questions to answer there, don't
Yeah,
they? I mean,
definitely
I do kind of like the way they explained how the first Meg or whatever got out, the one that followed him, or at least that's what they think. I do like the explanation behind that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it doesn't really help the narrative where with the first Meg, whatever that was, if Meg or not,
That's true.
and then the bigger Meg or the smaller Meg, I guess, whichever one came out with them. I'm not sure. It's hard to say, but I liked the graphic and them, telling us, explaining what was going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some fun to be had here for sure. And as a shark fan, you gotta come see the Meg.
Oh yeah, go see it. Forget the story. Forget the humans. Go see the monster.
Yeah, the best characters were probably Dwight. Did I say that already?
I don't think so.
Yeah, Dwight's character was probably just because he's got good energy, and Jason Statham's fine too. He's cool, but you gotta to watch this movie effectively. Does that make sense? You need to numb your mind. This is a good movie to watch when you're so high you can't stand. This is a good movie to watch when you're in high school and like the substitute teacher brings out a movie. The Meg's a good one to put on.
Yeah. I guess so.
I guess so. Well, thank you for watching this movie with me, man.
Thank you for watching a shark movie with me. I'm gonna make you watch many more shark movies.
Yeah, we're gonna watch every one that comes past me.
All right.
At least, I'm gonna keep a record of the ones especially the new ones, especially the ones that managed to get a trailer. The ones that go through the YouTube algorithm. Any of those. Then maybe we'll have to watch the other Jaws, or at least Jaws 2 or something, so you can kind of see where things went. It's sort of interesting, just historically speaking, and you just see where all the shit fell apart immediately after Jaws, where they just didn't understand what Jaws was. They either understood and didn't care to capture any of that magic ever again, which is fine. That's fine. Didn't Spielberg say that the best Jaws ripoff is Piranha 3D?
I think so.
Was that Spielberg? Which we need to watch
said
that.
it, but
I think
so.
What's his name is in that? The guy from Kangaroo Jack. And Are We There Yet?
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube, yeah. I think Ice Cube's in Piranha 3D. Not that that's a that doesn't give me high hopes.
Yeah, I'm not running to go see it.
Yeah. I like that his son is basically doing the same movies he was doing.
Oh
because he was
yeah.
in Cocaine Bear.
Yes.
Isn't that awesome?
That's awesome.
Because Ice Cube's most famous movie is Friday, of course, but his most famous bullshit B movie is probably Anaconda.
Oh.
That's probably, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know him from Are We There Yet? Friday and Kangaroo Jack.
Kangaroo Jack, of course. Oh shit, Kangaroo Jack, man. That's come up too many times in this podcast, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll watch Piranha 3D at some point too.
All right. The release date for the Meg 2?
What is it?
It's August 4th.
I thought it was much sooner. I thought it was coming up in the next couple weeks, actually. I didn't see any numbers. I was just, the PR cycle seemed to be starting, so
Okay.
I felt like it was pretty close.
Yeah. So hopefully this is one we go to the movies to see, to get a little bit of my magic back.
Yeah, we need to start going to the movies to see some of these. That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd like to see Barbie early.
Yeah.
I'd like to see, I wanted to see Beau is Afraid early, but I don't know. Beau is Afraid is a 3-hour movie.
Oh no,
So,
please.
I don't know if I'm up for a 3-hour movie at the theater.
Yeah.
I don't like the lack of subtitles, for one. I don't like the inability to pause if I have to go pee or get some food or whatever, right? Or have...
Yeah, that's a movie we need to see here at home.
Yeah. It's also not it's not one of those movies I feel like needs to be seen on the big screen. I hate to say that because I want my boy Ari Aster and Joaquin Phoenix to make, the money.
Yeah.
I want Ari Aster to have any budget he fucking wants, but I don't know if that's going to happen after Beau is Afraid. So, I don't know. Budget is also a good restraint for directors and filmmakers to have because it forces them to be creative.
Mm-hmm.
So there's maybe a little something about that too. Because I imagine, because listen to what I just said. Beau is Afraid is 3 hours. The budget was about 35 million. Production budget, I should say, not including directing costs and acting and marketing, of course. But I imagine that if that budget was half, that movie probably would have been like 2 hours. And I imagine the budget really inflated the runtime of that movie. Imagine that's what happened. So I imagine that movie's probably chock full of insanity and it's probably hard to watch. It's probably sensation overload, storytelling overload, cinema, like camera fucking shit overload. It's probably...
I don't want that.
There's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be an intense movie to watch. It's gonna be an experience. And at a movie theater, might be a problem.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I don't want that.
I need intermission.
Overload.
Yeah.
In public.
Yeah, because Batman...
Oh my god, Batman, I was having a panic attack. And
that's just due to its being too fucking long.
Yeah.
And not having... And the lack of subtitles kind of hurts that movie too, I think.
What? What did he say?
I know, right? I'm vengeance.
You're what?
Vengeance. It's a great Batman, though. Robert Pattinson. I'm excited for the second Batman. I don't know if we're probably not going to go see it at the theater. I don't really care for that. But,
no.
But I'm very interested in Robert Pattinson's Batman. I think it's very moody and cool. Yeah, man, but thanks for watching this with me. This has been a long time coming. I've just never been in the position to watch the Meg, the 2018 Megalodon movie, The Meg. If you like what you hear here, come check out our other podcasts. What are some of your favorite ones we've recently done? Sisu's a good one.
Sisu's a good one. John Wick's a good one.
Yeah, John Wick's a good one. We just gush over John Wick.
I love John Wick.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The Black Demon's a funny one.
It's
the podcast is funny. The episode is funny.
The episode is funny. Go listen to that.
Had you cracking up in that one?
Yes, you did. You had me cracking up in that one. And you know what? Go back and listen to Jaws, because we're on a shark kick here. So
The Evil Dead Rise is a really great episode too. Great movie.
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons. Go check out some of our other podcasts. They are blowing up. We are becoming viral.
Yay.
Well, thanks for listening to this podcast, this episode. We'll be back. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye-bye.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Filmistines. Thanks for tuning in and joining us on our cinematic journey. We hope you enjoyed our discussion and gained some new insights and perspectives on the world of movies. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform, especially Patreon at patreon.com/Filmistines, and follow us on our social media for more film-related content. We love hearing from our listeners, so if you have any feedback, suggestions, movie recommendations, or book recommendations, please feel free to reach out to us. Until next time, keep watching and keep loving the magic of movies. This is the Filmistines signing off.